So, but what is before us today, that's by the way, and Network for Justice were on many issues, is the question of the Mahadi, who is in detention. Now, the background why we are getting involved into this is not, it's normal in any country. Security agencies have the right to do whatever they want to do, you know, but also citizens have fundamental rights of which have to be protected no matter the circumstances. Now, what piqued our interest of Mahadi is basically every person from Katsina or people who follow social media. We knew how he got involved as a whistleblower, raising up some issues in respect to public funds, which has been stolen, the allegation that it has been stolen, especially in Katsina State. And as a result of this become a public issue. So now he has been arrested for whatever reason, I'm not aware yet, but the issue is that it shows the contradiction of the Nigerian state. Here is somebody saying that some money up to the tune of 50 billion have been stolen. His allegation. I would have expected that the state government of Katsina State, they should come out with the statement or to put a committee of investigation to ascertain the allegation of this person. If they find him guilty, is talking rubbish, then he should be dealt with under the law. And if there are also problems that this money has been stolen, then it should be handed back to the public treasury of Katsina. And I think that is also beyond Katsina. Even the federal government should have been they should have intervened what was going on. Because we have various kind of agencies, anti-graft agencies and all this. And more so, this government, I mean, at least one of their cardinal agenda, as they tell us, is that anti-corruption activity. So if this is going on and there is no... So I read my points here. Alhaji Mahadi Shehu is a Katsina-born businessman in Kaduna, based in Kaduna. Have been arrested by Nigerian security establishment. And eventually he was detained in a police division in Abuja, where he was strangely being bitten by a poisonous snake under the custody of the police. Now, he was treated at the National Hospital, so there is a record of the treatment of the poisonous snake bite in the government hospital. And so we, the Network for Justice, recognize the function of the security enforcement agencies to arrest, to detain, and so forth. But also, and importantly, we recognize the fundamental rights of Nigerian citizens. And it is on this basis that the Network for Justice want to observe as follows. 1. In the past few weeks, Mahadi Shehu has established himself as a whistleblower, particularly on his expose of alleged mismanagement of public funds to the tune of over 50 billion naira. The revelation by Alhaji Mahadi seems to convince the public that there is element of reliability to his allegation, fundamentally because of the massive data Mahadi provided. He will give a bank account. He will give name of the account. He will give the date of transaction. And he will give who are involved. These are details. And you can't ignore, because you are talking about various agencies. If it's something not very correct, I doubt very much if a bank will not raise an issue to say, look, as far as we are concerned, we don't have even such account, or we don't have such account number. So when there is a silence, then, you know, people will create doubt. There is, as a result of all this documentation, as an economist, I know some of these things, there are certain things you cannot just say it without certain fundamental facts. So now, with all these facts, there is no official statement by Katsina State Government officially, disputing these very sensitive allegations. No, those mentioned dispute the allegation. Because you will assume that if somebody if you say that Juma, they put, Masara put 100 million in his account, and 1 week he kept quiet. We know that is something. You know? But if you say you put him 100, the following day he will take you to court for damage of his, yes. And he will even claim damages. But none of the people mentioned make any attempt. 2, we are worried Mahadi's allegation was not investigated by Katsina State Government or the federal government, who claim to have a policy of anti-corruption agenda, despite his petition also to EFCC and ICPC. Number 3, which is also fundamental in security management, we also recognize Mahadi Shehu is an entrepreneur. When you have a business, you also employ people. And in economics, there is what we call economic chain. So if Ibrahim is employed today, now it's not only the pay we gave him 50,000 naira, for example, but out of that, he will put fuel to his car, which means filling station have gotten something. He will also give something to his family, which they can also do some little business, and some people benefit. He will also pay school fees of his children, which also reduces the social cost if the children are not in school. So you see, economic change. So by the time you say he's unemployed, all those chains have gone. So when you employ one person, the economic chain will be up to the tune of about 50 people. So this guy is an entrepreneur whom he employs a lot of people. And once you employ people, you reduce security cost. Because if people are not idle, there is no way they will go and do all this kind of antisocial something. Because now what are the price we are paying is because of idle people. I'm sure all of you, even though you are journalists, make a lot of noise. Nobody, all of us here, that one way or the other does not have an employed person in his. Now our stand as a network for justice, while we recognize the function of the security agency with regard to arrest, detention, etc., Network for Justice demand a constitutional right for the allegation raised by Alhaji Mahadi to be thoroughly investigated and culprit to be brought to book. B, as human rights organization, we hope and assume while Mahadi is in the custody of law enforcement agencies, he must be treated with dignity and as provided by our laws and international best practice. I rest my case.